All right, question 1. Can we choose our own domain? For example, is networking sufficient? Domain will be set jointly by TA4 and DARPA, and it will consider probably higher in breadth than that. Are we expected to use natural language processing or understanding to extract configuration semantics from component documentation? NLP is in scope. If alternate methods are proposed that provide similar capability, that is also in scope. Should existing configurations be taken into account when generating secure configurations, or can we assume a clean slate? The evaluation will take into account the default configurations of the system. Did you mean that TA1 has to analyze the source code / binary and develop models for understanding input of configuration parameters? Yes. What is the assumed split of the $45 million? We don't know until we see the proposals. Will you be accepting abstracts? Optionally, yes. Will the proposers of TA1-2 be able to propose a configuration of hardware / systems for evaluation, or will be fixed and defined by DARPA? Defined by TA4 for rapid testing in the initial phases, and defined by DARPA for the exercises and later phases. When will the Proposers Day slides be distributed? They will be published when the BA and FAQ are published, as well as hopefully the video. Are there any planned down selects during the program? No formal down selects are anticipated. Is including an unprotected worksheet voluntary? Yes, it is voluntary. Are multiple separate proposals to the same TA allowed? Our restrictions will be identified in the BAA. How long is the proposal process in the deadline in terms of number of days? The FAR requires a minimum of 45 days. The BAA will clarify with the specific time and deadlines. Will there be a concept paper requirement? Not a requirement, but we do have an optional abstract phase. Is device capability only determined from supplied docs, or is device code analysis in scope? Code is in scope. Are weblogs, chat room discussions, discussion-based threads in scope for extraction components of TA1, or just limited to vendor-provided documentation? It should not be assumed that there will be available for all the systems, considering especially DoD systems, but it may be augmentation that may be available if that is for the systems that we're looking at. What is the overall security classification of this effort? There are complementary efforts being done by other government security agencies. Many of those are R&D initiatives at above the TS level. The overall classification of this program is unclassified. In later phases of the program, when military systems are examined, the information will be classified in accordance with the target system's SCG, or Security Class Guide. How would risk for risk reduction be defined for TA2? Functionality not needed, comparison to industry best practices for reducing vulnerability or risk. Are service labs to be considered for all parts of TA4? Anyone who is eligible will be considered. Is the program 6.2? Funding will be appropriate to the proposed efforts. What platforms do you have in mind, unclassified versus classified? Unclassified for non-DoD for phases 1 and 2, DoD for phase 3, classified per system SCG. What kinds of human specs will be available? All human SOPs and training documents. What type of devices do you see in scope? Embedded devices common in cyber-physical systems, IoT, and industrial systems. Phase 1, imagine the scale of a commercial vehicle or other commercial system. Phase 2, a cyber-physical plant or heavy industry type scale. And 3, 2 DoD systems at the weapons platform level. You mentioned compositional analysis. Do you interpret this to be a composition of multiple analyses, or can this also include a single analysis of a composed system? Yes. Is human SOP in scope, and if so, what level of complexity? Human SOP is in scope for knowledge extraction to acquire or to the TA1 goals. What examples of documents that gives us an operational context? System design documentation, mission statements, SOPs, training manuals, etc. Some human interaction with system operators to refine assumptions may be in scope. Can configuration change for platform to platform and mission to mission? And will TA3 be given TA1 and 2 solution documentation? For the first one, yes, this is encapsulated within the operational context notion. And second, yes, TA3 will be given TA1 and TA2 solution documentation. Any others, we can either not going to answer at this time, or we'll be posting on the FAQ, or will be refined and clarified in the BAA. Thank you very much.